Well, hello everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of Movie Passion. And in today's video, I want to talk about one of my most favorite action movies, The Chase, with, and to a certain degree also by, Charlie Sheen. This movie is a really funny action comedy movie, but it is also a satire because it's also criticizing the media's obsession with violence and drama and all those kinds of things. And that's why this movie, to a certain degree, also reminds me a little bit of Natural Born Killers, because it was also kind of like a satire. So yeah, what is this movie all about? It's about this guy, Jack Hammond, who was apparently found guilty for a crime which he didn't commit. So he escapes and he hijacks a car, and then he is at this gas station and he just wants to get some gasoline, but then those two cops show up and they get the information that this car outside is stolen. So Jack panics and he threatens to kill this girl, and then he ends up kidnapping her and stealing her car, and they just drive off. And this is where the problems begin, because this girl that he just kidnapped, she is Natalie Voss. She's the daughter of a certain Dalton Voss. And in this movie, Dalton Voss is kind of like the Donald Trump of California, meaning that he's incredibly rich and powerful. But keep in mind, this movie takes place long before Donald Trump became president. You know? So everybody immediately thinks, well, this kidnapping, it wasn't a coincidence. He planned the whole thing. He kidnapped her because she is Natalie Voss. So he apparently wants some money from Dalton Voss or whatever. But that's not true. So, yeah, he tries to explain Natalie that he didn't kidnap her because she is Dalton Voss's daughter. Of course, at the beginning she doesn't really believe him. And he also tries to convince her that her life isn't in danger, which is kind of hard to believe after you've just been kidnapped, of course. So yeah, then there are also those two cops, one of them is played by Henry Rollins. And I think movies that have Henry Rollins in them, they are automatically a lot of fun. I don't know, Henry Rollins also said that he doesn't see himself as a serious actor, and he thinks if people want to put him in their movies, well, it's their fault. And I don't know if people that want Henry Rollins in their movies, if they have a certain mindset or whatever, and that's why those movies are always really fun or really entertaining to watch. But yeah, this movie is just one of those perfect examples how fun a movie is if Henry Rollins in it. I don't say that the movie is more fun because of Henry Rollins, but movies with Henry Rollins in them, yeah, they are just fun to watch and very entertaining. So there are those two cops and they are being interviewed by this guy, and I don't know if he wants to shoot something like Cops. I don't know what exactly he's doing, or if it's just supposed to be a real documentary or whatever. But yeah, this guy, this reporter or whatever, he reminds me a little bit of Wayne Gale from Natural Born Killers, meaning that he's kind of like the physical embodiment of the media and everything that's bad and wrong about the media. Meaning he's the kind of guy who wants to see a lot of action and drama and whatever. And when you look at the guy, you know, his looks and his mouth and his teeth, you know, he kind of looks like a vampire, and I think that's also something that they wanted to do. They wanted to give him this look so that we can see, oh yeah, this guy is really bloodthirsty, but you know, in a different way than a vampire is. And also his sunglasses, they are red, and I've never seen anybody walking around with those kinds of sunglasses, because if your sunglasses are entirely red, it is very annoying after a certain time. But yeah, he wants to have a lot of action and drama and whatsoever. And when it comes to those two cops, I think they are also the two different ways how people see the police, or the two different images that people have. You know, one of them is pretty strong and he's this really aggressive type, you know, hey, I want to have some action and I would love to beat the shit out of this Jack dude who just kidnapped this innocent woman and la la la. You know, this is one way how people see the cops. But then the other guy, he's more like this chubby, mellow, calm kind of guy, you know, the guy where people think, oh yeah, cops who just love to eat a lot of donuts. And by the way, I don't know where this cliche originated, that cops love to eat donuts. I don't know. But yeah, he's more like the mellow kind of guy. He is, in a certain way, he is the voice of reason. You know, he says, well, I don't want my kids to become cops because it really messes with your mind. Because if you deal with criminals every single day, you start to think that everybody is a criminal. And that's also one of the main problems with police in general. And when we see what's going on in the United States right now, yeah, there is a lot of police brutality, mainly because they think everybody is a criminal. And, you know, to a certain degree, it also has something to do with their gun laws. The fact that they are always in this mode that they have to think that everybody is carrying a gun and everybody could draw and shoot at any given moment. If you are always in that mode, if you are always, I don't know if I should say high strung, but yeah, if you're always in this mode, I could get shot at any given moment, it definitely messes with your brain. And if you also have stupid crap like racial profiling, it messes with your mind even more. If you think that black people are more dangerous than white people, what do you expect if you teach people something like this? What do you expect to happen? But yeah, I find that it's really clever that we have those two different images of the cops. So when it comes to the media, of course, every TV channel, every news station wants to have a piece of the cake. So they all try to come up with different ways how they could get, you know, something interesting out of the story. And, you know, since they don't really have the ability to interview somebody, well, at a certain point they called Jack in a car, in this car, because that was the time where you still had phones in your cars. So yeah, they called Jack and they ask him what he does if he runs out of gasoline. But yeah, everybody is trying to get the best picture, so to say. And the things that they try are becoming more and more crazy as the movie goes on. You know, at first you just have the guy in the helicopter who's just, you know, reporting about the traffic. And then he sees, well, there is this high-speed chase going on. But then there is camera crews who stand on the side of the road and they are not doing anything than just filming, them going by. Where I think, okay, wow, you have 5 seconds of footage of Jack and the cops just driving by. So then there is this other news station, and they have this van, and they strap this cameraman on the side of the van, and they drive up to Jack's car, and they want to get a picture of Natalie, and they want her to do a thumbs up, but Jack is just giving them the finger, and then the camera falls down, and yeah, it's really crazy. And there is also this other crazy scene where there is this truck who has a lot of corpses in the back, and then the truck just starts swirling, and it opens up, and all the corpses are falling out, and one of the corpses is landing on the cop car, and instead of just dragging it away, the first thing that he does is he's clubbing him, where I think, okay, what exactly do you think that this is going to achieve? Yeah, it is really a really fun movie to watch and really interesting. And there is also this one scene where Natalie gets really nauseous and she's leaning out the window to puke, and all of a sudden there is this really incredibly big splash of puke splashing at the cops at the windshield. And no matter how much you ate, no matter how much you drank, there is no way that a human being could puke this much in such short time. It's really as if somebody just took an entire an entire bucket of puke and just smashed it against the window. It's so crazy and over the top. Yeah, but everybody thinks, well, Jack kidnapped her because she's Natalie Voss. And then you also have the parents, and Dalton Voss, because he has a lot of money, he's one of those guys who thinks, well, we can solve every problem if we throw money at it. So he wants to know from Jack how much money he wants, but Jack isn't really interested in his money. And this is also the point where you realize how little he cares about his daughter, because I don't know how much he says, $50,000 or $500,000 or something like this. And for somebody who is a multi-millionaire, this is really sad to see that this is how little he cares about his daughter. He's a multi-millionaire and he isn't even offering even 1 million. Yeah, that's really sad. And there is also Jack's lawyer who knows that Jack is innocent, and there is this one reporter who does an interview with Jack's lawyer, and this is also very interesting. The fact that this interview is so incredibly short, this also shows you how little the media really cares about the truth. They are more interested in an interesting story than the actual truth. It's kind of like, well, here we have Jack's lawyer. So is Jack innocent? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, he is. Okay, that's really interesting. Now back to the action. Yeah, it's really sad to see how little time they spend for explaining that Jack is actually innocent. So yeah, and then there is also this one scene with those two idiots in this van or in this truck who have this really stupid and crazy idea to ram the car to stop it, which is so incredibly stupid, because ramming a car at full speed, there is a good chance that you might hurt or even kill the hostage or the kidnapped person. So that's stupid, and of course everything goes wrong and it leads to a massive accident. It's just so stupid and crazy. And guess who is driving that truck? Guess. No, it's not Beavis and Butthead, but it's pretty close when it comes to the characters. But who is driving this truck? It's Flea and Anthony from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, I mean, come on. This shows you just how good and how entertaining this movie is. Not only do we have Henry Rollins, but we also have Flea and Anthony from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. How many times do you have those people in one and the same movie? It's just amazing. So, yeah, it is a really nice movie, and eventually Natalie and Jack, they get to know each other, and he explains to her what the crime was that he was committed for, or that he not committed, but that he was found guilty for. And it has something to do with him wearing a clown's costume for birthday parties and something like this, and somebody in a clown costume robbed a bank or something like that. And yeah, it's just really sad. And yeah, it is a really nice movie. It's really fun, really entertaining to watch, and it has a little bit more depth than most people think. But yeah, I just can highly recommend this movie. So if you've never seen this movie, go watch it. I'm pretty sure you're going to have a blast watching this movie. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next random video or in the next episode of Movie Passion, whatever it will be. So thanks for watching. Bye.